Aloha and welcome to this episode of the Hawaii Smooth Jazz Connection. I am your host, Gwen Harris. My guest today is an international jazz vocalist who has an impressive resume as a music educator, performing artist, songwriter, producer, vocalist, and musical theater actress. She has received numerous accolades and awards as an educator and performing artist. Her vocals have been featured for artists Bob Baldwin, Norman Brown, Phil Perry, Mesa, Will Downing, Yolanda Adams, and Howard Hewitt. This is just to name a few. The list definitely goes on. I am so happy to have her on this show here with me today, and I call her my Hampton sister. Let's welcome Miss Lori Williams to the show. Aloha, Lori.
Aloha, my sister. How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Finally, I'm glad to be here with you.
Yes, I am so glad. For those of you that don't know, Lori and I, we're going to get into that shortly. Lori and I went to the same college. So it's just amazing to watch her grow and see what she's done. She's making it big. And I'm so happy and proud for her. And I want to thank you too for being up late because you're in Georgia, correct?
Girl, yes. This is my bedtime. I said, okay.
So I thank you. I thank you so much, my sister, for being here with us today. But let's get this ball rolling and just let us know what or who inspired you to get into the music industry, to get you to sing and all that good stuff.
Well, I started as a young woman or young girl in the church. That's kind of how it all starts, as most people do. So I started off singing in the church, and then I went to school at Hampton University and got the jazz bug there.
Mm-hmm.
And from there on, I was really inspired by two professors, and you may know them, Bob Ransom and Dr. Effie Gardner, who were instrumental in getting me introduced to the jazz genre. And then, of course, I worked at WHOV, and I was the jazz songbird, and I did my stint there as the jazz program director and just immersed myself in a lot of the music while I was there. So my introduction started in church and then transferred over to Hampton.
And you talk about Mr. Ransom. I know Mr. Ransom very well because he was our band director with the marching band. Yes,
mm-hmm.
yes. Now, where was your first gig?
Wow, this is pretty, okay, professionally, my first gig was at the Capitol Jazz Fest, and I opened up, and that was pretty exciting. And then, of course, one of my biggest opportunities that I had early on was at the Apollo as a student at Hampton.
Wow.
And the Omega Psi Phi fraternity paid my way to get to New York, and I got up there and I did the Apollo and didn't get booed off and came back to a party on the campus, and that was kind of like the big gig.
Nice. Now, besides singing, do you play any other instruments?
Of course. Well, for me, I directed high school choirs, and I just left teaching there in 2019. But having to accompany my choir, I would have to play. But I would always hire professionals to do that for competitions because, I would say that I'm a functional pianist. I'm not a Bob Baldwin. So, but I would hire those people who I know who would be phenomenal in doing that and accompanying the choirs. But yes, piano is something that I learned early on.
Now, you have an amazing voice, and we're going to hear that later on in the show. And you have done a lot of collaborations with the amazing Bob Baldwin. How did that come about? You are such a lucky woman.
So
you're lucky.
Pretty blessed. In 2017, Bob had a show that was at Ram's Head, and he and I both recorded the same song, The Island, which is by Yvonne Lenz. And so he wrote to me. We had never corresponded before, and he said, I'm going to be at Ram's Head. I realize that you are doing this song, and I'm playing it on my New Urban Jazz Lounge, and want to know if you want to sit in. And I said, sure. And we've been collaborating ever since. And that was February the 16th, 2017.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, you two do an amazing job on everything you do. We talked about HBCU. We talked about Hampton. And for those of you who don't know, when we say HBCU, it's a historical Black college or university. And Lori and I went to the best one, Hampton University.
That's
then Hampton Institute. When we started, it was Hampton Institute. What was your HB? First of all, why did you attend an HBCU?
Well, Hampton was the only choice that I had. I didn't look for other schools beyond the Berkeleys and the Juilliards. Those were like my wish. But for when I had my parents, God rest their soul, they said I needed something to fall back on. And when I looked at the campus of Hampton University, I
Hmm.
fell in love. And especially just going down for orientation, there was no other place to go with the waterfront and just the beautiful ambiance of the campus. And I don't regret any part of my experience there at Hampton, not one bit.
So you had a great HBCU experience. I'm
The
telling you,
best. It was
Hampton gets you drawn in. It'll
come
draw
on, and
you in.
it was my only choice, and I just immersed myself into the university experience and fell in love and tried to instill that. My daughter attended Hampton as well, and hopefully my son will, as you know, when it's his turn.
Nice. Now you were a music major. I know
I
you
was
said you.
not. I was not. I actually should have been. I stayed in the music department. I'd say about 60% of the time that I was there.
Hmm.
But I ended up doing mass media arts communication.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So you went total opposite
I,
on.
well, it was kind of strategically done. My parents knew that I needed to have something. I said, okay, it would be English or it would be communications because that was what I was, interested in at the time. And I wanted to be the next Renee Poussaint, who was the Black anchor in Washington, D.C. at the time. And just wanted to just make my parents proud. But I also had a passion for music. So as soon
Hmm.
as I got on campus, I think I did a talent show and then I did the coronations and met Pop Ransom. And I was just at Woody, God rest his soul, and Hopewell, and so I was always in the music department. So I found myself there more than I was in the media department, and they were in the same building. So that
Yes, yes, they were. Yes, they were.
that
Now, with this pandemic, this pandemic has put the entertainment industry to a halt. Everything has been postponed,
right.
canceled. What have you been doing during this time? Things are starting to slowly come back, but what have you been doing during this time?
Well, we've had some performances. Bob Baldwin had some outside performances last year, and then he had his annual birthday bash in December. That was in New York, and of course, putting out new music. So I've done a couple of CDs and singing on different people's projects, and now released my latest singles, "Amazing Grace," "Now I See," and also "New Day" is going to be released, Lord willing, on March the 8th. And then the actual CD of a new book should be coming out in the spring. The EP came out last year. So just putting out some new music, teaching online. I've been teaching vocal music to people all over the world, which is pretty incredible. So the pandemic has had its disadvantages and advantages. For me, I've had an opportunity to really work with students in Austria and
Mm.
all over the US. And I'm excited about that I get to be able to still teach and teach voice, but in a way where I can, just like I'm talking to you.
And you're looking for new students, right?
I'm always looking for new students. So please, if you're interested in having a fun experience, hit me up.
Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later on too. Now, I just want to go over your albums that you've done. 2010, and I love the title of all of your albums.
Thank you.
It seems like a story. So
It totally is.
2010, Healing Within, right?
That's right.
2012, Eclipse of the Soul. 2016, Behind the Smiles. My favorite one, 2018, Out of the Box.
That was a good
And
one.
yes, 2019, Full Circle. And your latest one that's coming out, just came out, a new book. Tell us about that and why did you title it that?
Well, I'm going to backtrack it to out of the box because I didn't
Okay.
want to be boxed into any particular genre. And most
Hmm.
people would know me as a straight ahead jazz vocalist, especially when I would travel overseas. That's what I would do, a lot of straight ahead and traditional jazz. And I would consider myself as an ambassador for that genre when I would go to Europe, which was pretty exciting. But I have a passion for neo soul and contemporary jazz and smooth jazz. And that's what I wanted to do. And with these CDs, which would be out of the box and a new book, both produced by Bob Baldwin, I wanted to be able to show that side of me that would be comparable to those genres. And I'm hoping people would really dig it. I got some great love in the UK and hoping to do that again with a new book. The title is, it deals with the chapter in my life right now. I didn't want to have to um, turn a page in a book. I wanted to have an entirely new book altogether. And the songs that are on the CD are pretty fired up. So I'm excited about the collaborations that are of the outstanding musicians who are there and the music that's presented.
Nice. Now, you have collaborated with a lot of artists. Who would be your dream collaboration?
Diane Reeves.
Ooh,
I would love to work with Diane Reeves, and I've worked with some incredible people. You put up Norman, which is awesome. I got a chance to work with him on the Capitol Jazz Cruise, but I've had some incredible, amazing opportunities. Nathan East, Stanley Jordan, George Duke, Mesa, Phil Perry, Will Downing. The list is just mind blowing that I've been able to work with some amazing, phenomenal musicians. And that's just God opening up those doors for me to be able to work with people. So Diane Reeves would be the ultimate because she is a mentor. She is someone who I aspire to be like as a vocalist. She reaches the world with her great music and her wonderful spirit. So I would love that.
now, what new projects are you working on? You mentioned a few a little while ago, but what new projects are you working on? Any shows coming up that we should be marking our calendar for?
Well, I wish we could say we had some shows. I'm telling you, that would be, once the pandemic would end, Lord willing, we can be able to say that we could have open venues again. But as it stands right now, everything is online. I have not had an opportunity to do anything internationally because of the borders being closed right now. So the hope would be that we'll get back to that. And that most of my gigs are for 2022. But the music right now, we're doing everything with radio, with brick
Mhm.
and mortar and online. And so I'm hoping that people will get a chance to listen to the music that I'm putting out and dig it that way and support me with the new CD.
So, you're an educator.
Yes.
What is your thoughts on, some of the schools, the high schools, elementary schools, some of the schools, because of funding, the music program and the arts program, if they're not already gone, they're going to be taking them out.
Hmm.
What is your thoughts on that, and what, if possible, do you think we could do?
Well, that's why I developed Positive Music for Positive Minds because I wanted to be able to have my own impact for students and for young people. My organization, Positive Music for Positive Minds, you can check it out at positivemusicpm.org, is an organization that teaches young people about lyrical content through the arts. And we've had some successful runs when pre-COVID, when we were able to go into the schools and put together programs where the students would create wonderful performances and share. And we would have docents or guest performing artists to come into the schools. We had Chuck Brown, we had Sugar Bear, we've had Silver Logan Sharp, we've had amazing artists from all over the United States. We've had Anthony Wellington, who plays with Victor Wooten, just to be able to come in and talk to the young people about inspiring them to pursue music and dance, art, any creative form of the arts. And our young people really gravitated toward that. And it's not to replace what's in the school. And as an educator, I found that we always needed something to supplement and to help to support it. And this program seemed to really take off. So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that again once we partner with more schools across the United States.
Well, we're going to take a break here because I want people to hear that beautiful voice of yours. And we're going to show a video of you singing Carole King's song, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? And it's at the Howard Theater. You did that at
Wow.
the Howard Theater. So let's listen to Miss Lori Williams and Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?
Tonight you're mine completely. show your love so sweetly tonight. The light of love is in your eyes. Will you still love me tomorrow? Is this a lasting treasure? Or just a moment's pleasure? Can I believe the love that's in your eyes? Will you still love me tomorrow? Tonight, with words unspoken, you say that I'm the only one. But will my heart be broken when the night meets the rising sun? I'd love to know that your love is love I can be sure of. So tell me now, I won't ask again. Will you love me? Will you love me?
I feel like I'm there. I'm watching you on the screen because nobody can see you and me.
Right.
I'm watching you and you're getting all into it. I'm like, geez,
That was a fun show. Oh, I missed that.
I
That
really
was
want to
fun.
get back into live music because I really just watching that, and I know for you, just watching you because I can
Ah,
see you. I
yeah,
can see you just were getting into it.
that was a great memory.
Oh, but
Yeah.
your voice is beautiful, Lori. It really
Thanks, sis.
is. Now, the question that I have for you is, with all the artists that are coming out today, what advice would you give a new artist coming into the music industry?
I think the thing that I would say would be to continue to study and don't think that you know everything because there's so much to learn. Oh my gosh, this it's not an easy profession. People think that it's just, you just get up and you do what you do, but no, it's so much that goes behind, into it, behind it, with the craft of understanding music. And as a musician,
Hmm.
it's so much with the theory, the theoretical
Hmm.
applications, just the nuances of making sure that you protect yourself health wise. Just continue to study.
Now, where can people go to find out more about you and your music? And also, where can people go to learn more about and if they want to donate to your foundation, which I think is an amazing foundation?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So my website is lorijazz.com, LORIJAZZ.com, and they can reach me there for all information as it relates to my website for lorijazz.com and also for positive music. For Positive Minds, they can check me out at positivemusicpm.org, and they can be able to get information there.
You hear that, everyone. You heard that. And for all the listeners and viewers, Lori's fans, she's in Georgia now and she wants to work in Georgia. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
um,
I tell you, it's kind of tough, being down here. I love Georgia and I love the pace. I didn't think I was going to love it as much, but, coming from the DC area, I'm a DC
mhm.
girl and I've been, born and raised in the DC area. Such a fast pace of life, but here is just a calm, relaxing, peaceful environment. And I'm so grateful. But I want to get a chance to meet some of these musicians who are down here. Hopefully, if you need a vocalist, Have Voice will travel.
And I know a few people there. I'll definitely make sure
Thank
that I give them your name. Lori, I thank you so much because I know it's late there and I know it's your bedtime. You know,
you.
there.
I got to get to Hawaii soon, girl. It's like
Yes,
five something there, right?
yes, it is what 5:23. So yes, you do need to come
Yeah.
to Hawaii. And like I tell you and Bob, we're going to definitely be working on that
Yes,
because
hope
I
so.
need you here. I need you here, girl, with that voice. I need you here.
I
But
can't wait.
thank you so much for being here.
Love you, love
Taking
you.
the time. I love you too, and we will chat later.
Thank you, Pirate Pride.
Yes, yes. To all my listeners, viewers, thank you for tuning in to the Hawaii Smooth Jazz Connection. Thank you so much to Miss Lori Williams. And until next time, aloha and God bless.